The Battle of Unbeatens takes place in San Diego next week as the Falcons go up against the Chargers. The Falcons look great Monday night against the Broncos as they managed to pick off Peyton Manning 3 times and managed to hold on till the end to get the win. And the Chargers manhandled the Titans 38-10 with Phillip Rivers throwing for 3 touchdowns. This is going to be an interesting game between teams that have great offenses and so-so defenses. But I gotta go against the Falcons for the second week in a row as I believe the Chargers will win this one. It's in San Diego and I think Rivers will be able to pull through for his team to beat the Falcons in a seriously close match.
Alright, so as you see, Tensa goes against the Falcons, which pisses me off kind of, so f*** you. Anyway, I'm going with the Falcons against the Chargers, going into San Diego. You know, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a matchup of the defenses. Matt Ryan throwing for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's #1 in the league right now for total QBR. That's #1 since week 1 and 2 with 95.4 QBR. But then you still got Phillip Rivers, who threw 284 yards and 3 TDs, but with an interception. So it's definitely going to come down to the defenses, and hopefully my Falcons defense that played the Denver Broncos shows up.
The Broncos continue their road journey as they head to Houston to take on the 2-0 Texans. The Broncos and Peyton Manning look nothing like they did opening night when they played the Falcons, with 3 interceptions and a fumble in just the first quarter. They almost rallied a comeback after Atlanta found trouble moving the ball in the second half, but they still came up short 21-27. And the Texans dominated the Jags with their power offense led by Arian Foster, Matt Schaub, and Andre Johnson. This was a tough one for me, but I gotta go with the Texans. The Broncos remain on the road, and if their defense let Matt Ryan and crew get 27 points on them, this Texans offense is going to do fairly well at home.
Alright, now we got the Texans traveling to the Broncos, and I think I'm going to have to go with the Broncos on this one. Matt Schaub threw 0 touchdowns last week. That's right, 0. All of them were running. You had Ben Tate, who ran for 2 touchdowns, and Arian Foster, who ran for 1 touchdown. Peyton Manning, 3 interceptions. Thank you, Falcons defense, because he's just a plain old, like, I don't know, the whole hype, it's getting to his head, you know. Now he's going to try to force it. He's like, oh, now I'm Peyton Manning, and he is Peyton Manning, clearly. But in his head, he's like, oh, I'm Peyton Manning, I'm the golden boy. And he starts to force these passes that just get clearly intercepted. But against that, I think the Broncos defense is going to stop the Texans' run and pull out a win in Colorado.
Sunday Night Football has an epic AFC Championship rematch with the Patriots going into Ravens territory. The Pats lost a huge shocker at home against Kevin Kolb and the Cardinals, and the Ravens lost to Vic and the Eagles in the final minute of their game. These two teams hate each other, and the Ravens are looking for some payback after missing their shot at the Super Bowl. I'm going to say Baltimore wins a close one if they manage to rattle Brady and their kicker doesn't miss a last-second field goal.
Alright, so I have nothing written down for the Pats at Ravens. I'm just going with the Ravens. Just the Ravens. Defense. Go Ravens.
Monday Night Football gives us the Packers heading up to Seattle to face off against the surprising Seahawks. The Packers' defense and special teams stepped up last Thursday to help them win their game at home against Chicago, and the Seahawks thrashed the Cowboys in a very surprising upset, which I called. Both teams are coming off very solid wins, but I'm going to have to go with Green Bay on this one. I don't think the Packers will make the same mistake Dallas made against Seattle, and having Rodgers as your QB, not Romo, helps.
This is probably going to be my hardest pick, the Packers at the Seahawks, because I was going to pick the Seahawks, and then I was going to pick the Packers, but I'm leaning more towards the Seahawks now, just because Marshawn Lynch rushing for 122 yards and Russell Wilson throwing 15 out of 20, which is pretty good, and 151 yards. Playing in Seattle against the 12th man, I don't know. The Packers D may show up, but it's again, these refs, they suck. They're not that good, so it could go either way, but I think it's going to go the Seahawks way because I'm pretty sure the 12th man's going to have a big play in this game here.
My upset pick this week once again involves the Cowboys as they open at home against the Buccaneers. The Bucs gave the Giants quite a scare as they came extremely close to beating them and knocking them down to 0-2. Freeman looked pretty good, but Manning was better in the end with his 500 yards passing. And the Cowboys lost to a Seattle team that they apparently should have stomped. I'm probably just getting cocky now by saying they'll lose 2 weeks in a row in upsets, but if the Bucs looked at what the Seahawks did right, they can totally surprise the Cowboys.
Alright, for my upset. Again, Giants at Panthers. I am picking the Panthers again. That's 2 weeks in a row that I've picked the Panthers for my upset. And they won last week against the Saints like I said they were going to, so screw all you Saints fans. But it's not really looking like an upset, like I said again, but still, the Panthers have a chance to beat the Giants. The Giants looked like shit against the Buccaneers, and even though Eli Manning threw for 510 yards and he became part of the 500 club and 3 TDs, he still threw 3 interceptions.
In our new segment, The Shame Report, we'll look at a comment from the previous week that makes a certain person look like a total ass. Last week, I chose Seattle as my upset pick against Dallas. Well, Daniel CRX13 didn't really care for this pick as he said, "What the f***? The Seahawks over Cowboy? You must be stupid. Cowboy's gonna walk all over them. You watch on how all your picks are wrong." And as we all know, the Cowboys lost 7-27. With that, I'd like to say, and last week, I actually went 11-5. And contrary to what was said, I actually didn't get all my picks wrong. So yeah, Daniel, first I'd like to say, fuck you. Second, think before you comment. If you disagree, that's fine. We encourage viewers to disagree with us and comment on who they think will win. But that's not a free pass for you to act like a total d***. I'm not sure if you're a 13-year-old troll or a grown-ass man who's just a Cowboys fanboy. Either way, you were dead wrong. And shit like that will get you on The Shame Report.
The T-Pop's Upset Pick of the Week. The St. Louis Rams.
Let us know in the comments below. Every week we will give a shout out to those who prove us wrong.
You can only prove us wrong in one game, so choose wisely.
Subscribe for weekly NFL picks. Thanks again for watching.